So I'm very happy to be here at the You Speak Forum representing PwC as the global champion for the AIESEC partnership. I think it's really important for us to come and show what PwC is doing in the youth area, but also talk about how PwC particularly partnerships with AIESEC. The youth voice is very important to us. PwC transforms itself every year. It takes a lot of youth in, over 20,000 across the world of just new graduates. That's transforming us, and it's really important that we understand how youth think and how that's going to impact our business over the next few years. I think the role of youth obviously varies from generation to generation. How youth are conditioned is probably symptomatic of the views of their parents, the views of the times, the events around them. We know that the millennial youth that we see at the moment have some very special views about the future and are also very purpose-oriented. We see that through the You Speak survey. We also see that through things we hear from our younger colleagues in PwC. I think it's great that youth want to speak out. I hope they're not going to completely forget about what some of the older grey-haired members of the population think, but I think it's great that youth have a voice and it's a very purposeful voice, and I look forward to hearing more about that in the future, and I think that's very important for the future of business, of the society and of the world in general. Young people, their role in sustainability, I think that comes down to all sorts of different areas. So for instance, within PwC, we try to make our sustainability more relevant to what we do as a business. Clearly there are lots of other business models, whether that's entrepreneur, where you're thinking about sustainability in a different way. For us, just having 20,000 new people come in each year, for us to be a sustainable business and to be able to serve our clients, we need to have young people who come in and who are thinking about the future and are able to relate to especially to some of our younger clients. So I think having mid-term goals for an organisation is very important. I think it makes people think about the future. I don't think for 1 minute that the goals that one puts out there necessarily are going to be the ones that will be achieved. We see every day that the world changes and it transforms itself every day. So the goals that you might set now will in 5 years definitely be different, and you won't necessarily achieve all of them. But the very thought process of going through and thinking about what those goals are is a very powerful process, and it's something that every organisation needs to do, still with the knowledge that some of those are going to be good and some of those are not. And when one thinks about the mega trends these days, and we've talked about some of those today, whether those are climate change or population change, urbanisation, one needs to think about all of those because they're definitely going to impact businesses and society as we move over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. AIESEC has a particular role here. AIESEC is a very powerful student organisation. I think it could be more powerful. I think it would have more to say. But the fact that AIESEC takes this time to think about its medium-term goals, to think about how they relate to, for instance, the UN's mid-term goals and the sustainability goals and things, I think that's very important. Again, I don't believe for a minute that AIESEC will get all of the goals right, but to take the time and think about how that impacts society and what young people's role is in all of that, I think is really important, and I look forward to seeing how the goal development takes place in practice, and by the end of this conference where we will have got to and what those goals will be, and in 5 years' time we can perhaps look back and say how was the process and which ones did we get right and which ones are perhaps slightly off.